welcome to New Game Plus. I'm Tim, I'm joined by Donald. How are you?
I am tired for everyone else who'd be staying up until crazy hours playing Fallout 4, or for Matt and Naz who played 24 hours of horror video games for Extra Life, hitting their goals. Congratulations to them, they earned their sleep.
Yes, after all that candy as well, I'm sure they're very tired. Had their sugar rushes and now gone to bed. But it is not a time for sleeping. Everyone should be playing the big video games that are out. I have been playing StarCraft 2, Legacy of the Void.
StarCraft 2, Legacy of the Void, which was a game that was played at...
BlizzCon!
Yay!
Yay! BlizzCon just happened 2 weekends previous now, as this goes to air. Lots of big, well, not really announcements. There was a sort of date for Overwatch. We found out that it's not free to play now. It's actually a full retail release game.
Which is an interesting proposition considering, well, it's a surprise considering what we were expecting it to be.
Yes.
So it is much more like Team Fortress 2 than we expected then.
Yes, but I don't think I would have liked a payment model similar to Heroes of the Storm at the moment, because Heroes of the Storm is very pricey to get into when you're buying all the characters.
It's unique though in that regard.
Yes.
Like it's an anomaly compared to the other free-to-play MOBAs.
Yeah,
especially Dota.
But as far as BlizzCon goes, there was lots of hype. Lots of games that were coming out just straight after.
Some fantastic Hearthstone games as well in the World Championships.
Yes, and a ridiculous card in the new expansion that changes all your cards into legendary cards. Which sounds very silly, but it's hard to get. I don't know how the balance team will work it out, but I'm sure it's fine.
Die rolls. That's how they'll work it out.
Yes.
Non-stop die rolls.
Yes, but we've got some big games this episode. You're reviewing Call of Duty.
Black Ops 3, yes. Let's see where this year's Shooty Fest installment takes us.
Yes, but first up, Need for Speed.
Now, for a series like Need for Speed, there's actually been a pretty long time between drinks.
About a year, which is crazy.
Well, no, it's 2 years, isn't it? Like, there was the gap there.
Yeah, there was Rivals and there was nothing, and now there's just Need for Speed.
Yeah, so because normally they bring them out yearly, and that was starting to really wear down the formula. Because I don't mind an arcade racer.
Right.
But when they're trying to go for the Call of Duty formula, like, I only like 1 in every 3 Call of Duty games anyway. So it's good to see that they've finally given it a year. This one is just straight up called Need for Speed, though, isn't it?
It's just straight up called Need for Speed, available on your PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC.
Thank you, Ad. So, what about it? Like, Rivals, you obviously had the competitions thing. You've had, you know, obviously, Most Wanted had the police thing. You know, Criterion have been involved for a while now, but it's no longer Criterion's Ghosts. Well, like, what have they brought to this Need for Speed that separates it?
So it's kind of a reboot and kind of a reboot of the underground era of Need for Speed games. So you have a lot of tuner cars. You have a couple of exotics. But for the most part, you drive in an entirely nocturnal city. You drive around a city. You basically drive in 5 different disciplines: speed, build, outlaw, and you basically become like the greatest racer in the city.
So they've kind of taken a little bit of Burnout Paradise, like where each car has its own different way to handle.
A little. No, it's just a different kind of driving. So if you crash into everything like I do,
so it's like Need for Speed Paradise.
Yeah, a little.
So,
Need for Speed Paradise, exactly.
Well, and I wish every game was Need for Speed Paradise. So, but I mean, what about it? Like, is there something that's going to bring me to it? Considering Forza Horizon 2 is still a fairly recent game, and it would still very much be worth people picking up. Is there going to be enough here to drag people away?
I think it's a fun racing game. Like, the engine it's fun to drive in this game. And I love the fact that we live in an age where an Need for Speed game, you can basically set the car to be either fully grippy or fully drift, or just try to customize like your favorite Need for Speed game. I think it's a really good idea. Then the thing is though, it's not fun to play online, and the sad thing is this is a game that is always online.
And so you can't even turn it, like, as far as we can tell, you can't even turn it on. You have to play online at all times.
Because the problem is that you have 6 other people in the world with you, but there's no real reason to do anything with them because there's no incentive to. It's weird.
So they've taken the kind of the EA login thing where they used to have, what they call it? Auto log.
And that's still here, and it's great, but it's all of a sudden it's just...
They've gone too far with it.
Yeah,
they've taken it that one step too far.
I just would rather just play it offline, and maybe if I want to go online...
Yeah, and so I guess that's the question. Those niggling things aside that annoy us about modern gaming, is it still a worthwhile
Look, I think it's worth checking out. It's not, in my opinion, not the best racing game of the year, but it looks pretty. The soundtrack's really good, and it's fun for 10 to 15 hours. So I reckon if you're hankering for a racing game, you could do worse.
Now, Shane, have you played much Animal Crossing?
Bits here and there.
Okay. What did you like about Animal Crossing?
I guess just the amount of stuff that you can actually do in it.
Okay. Did you like designing happy homes?
Happy is a...
Yeah, so if people came to you and said, I would like you to design me a house in Animal Crossing, how would you feel about that?
I just want to go fish.
Okay. Well, good news. Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer is with us, and it is horribly addictive. And when I say horribly, please don't take that the wrong way, because I'm really enjoying my time with it.
All right.
But it's very, very addictive.
Okay.
So you build houses. It says what it says on the box. You work as a real estate agent for Tom Nook. They come to you, they say, I would like this kind of house, or I would like this kind of house. And you basically build the projects that they design. And over time, you unlock more and more items.
Sounds addictive.
It sadly is. So you spend a lot of time building these places. You unlock, say, one design for another place, and then something will come up. You're like, oh, that's cool. And then you get asked to make public institutions. So you get asked to make a hospital. So you can be boring. You can make a hospital, or you can do what I did and turn it into like a medieval dungeon where people have their blood extracted. I basically turned it into like
a torture chamber.
Well, it was called St. Vlad's Hospital. Get it?
A vampire. Yeah. Oh, blood. I get it.
So
psychopath.
It's good.
Yep.
Or you can, and then you get to make a cafe. So I made it into a ramen place. So you get to really, express
ramen.
Yeah, you get to express yourself in a very confined way in this game. And I am enjoying it far too much.
Yep.
But I will never be as talented as the brilliantly talented people who have put stuff up online, because there are some really great things. Do you want to stop fishing and do you want to design happy homes with me, Shani?
I think it's just too much. I just want to fish.
You just want to fish?
I just want
you don't want to build a house?
I just want to fish.
Do you want to build a... This doesn't fit. Snowman, because it doesn't fit. Anyway, Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer. Very addictive game, very fun. Check it out.
I just want to fish.
Now I'm also joined by Blaine, I guess one of the newer blood of Rooster Teeth. Yeah. We've gone from Joel, now we're on to Blaine, so it's a very different kind of story coming into it.
Yeah, I'm in the latest generation. I started out as a volunteer at RTX back in Austin, and then I became an intern and slowly worked my way up. And now I'm in PAX Australia. So.
And I guess, how is that? I mean, that's a very nice little step up, a nice little progression tree there.
It's really surreal to be seeing the guys that 4 years back, I just idolized them and they were my heroes and stuff. And then now I'm hanging out with Joel Heyman, and Bernie Burns has invited me to his house to do stuff, and it's pretty cool, really surreal.
I guess so. Was it ever something that you wanted to do, or it's just one of those kind of you just want to be involved and it's just progressed from there?
I mean, it was a mix of things, because when I was looking at schools that I wanted to go to when I was in college or uni, as you guys call it out here.
Well done.
I'm picking up. I looked and I knew that Austin was a place I wanted to go, but just because I've been following Rooster Teeth for years and they seem to have such fun out there, and I was like, man, it would be a dream to go work at Rooster Teeth and stuff. And then it initially started out with, RTX is looking for volunteers. I want to give back to the company that's given me so much. And then it just slowly progressed from there.
And I guess that is a very cool thing about modern companies they've been around for 15 years nearly, but they have that much more connected kind of chain, whereas traditional media, it's much more difficult to break into.
Yeah, Rooster Teeth is so in tune with its community. We have so many staff members that have been members of the community, and we definitely are very in touch with them. We reach out to them, and I'm just one of the lucky ones, really. So
what's your favorite part? What do you enjoy doing the most?
When I first got into the job, my ultimate goal was to produce shorts and have my own live action show, because I love the shorts. Podcast is a big thing to me. Achievement Hunter was awesome, but I always loved the shorts. And to be able to be on set directing Bernie Burns, directing Gavin Free, it's just, it's a lot of fun. It's really cool.
There you go. Well, I asked the same question of Joel. I'll ask the same thing of you. What's the silliest, dumbest thing you've either pitched or wanted to do that they've said you can't do?
That I can't do? Yeah. Man, that's... They haven't really said no. I at one point had Bernie basically naked with a fake penis sticking out of his drawers. So, they're pretty much up for anything, to be honest.
So it was just Tuesday in Bernie's world.
Yeah, I'm messing with Bernie constantly.
Yeah, nice. Well, it's always good if you can get one back on the boss. That's the way it goes, isn't it?
Right. Yeah.
So, Blaine, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Jason.
Now I'm joined by, I apologize in advance, Mateusz? Ish? Sorry, I apologize.
Yeah.
Lead quest designer on The Witcher 3. Thank you for joining us. We figured we'd discuss the game. You guys are the last kind of big AAA title not backed by a major publisher, and yet you've had all this success. Like, what do you think has contributed to that?
Well, a few things. First of all, we have very dedicated people at the company, people that really care about their work. They want it to be the best as it can be, and people that want to support the product, the game, even after it is released. Secondly, we have people that have very clear vision of what they want to achieve. Our game director, our head of studio, they are people that really know what they want, and they know how to get it, basically. They are playing the game throughout the whole process. They are cutting stuff if they don't like it. We are discussing a lot of it together, and I think this is something that really stands out, helps to reach this quality level.
Do you think it's also that you guys have a very good reputation amongst, particularly the PC community, but the gaming community in general, known for actively going against DRM policy stuff? Like, do you think the community goodwill definitely helped with that?
Well, definitely. I mean, I think that we are very gamer-oriented people because most of us are gamers, and I think it helps definitely. I think people appreciate our standpoint on the issues of DRM, of DLCs, and so on. And this is something that we really believe in. It's not some marketing gimmick, you know. It's something that we really stand for, and I think it's part of this success.
Yeah, nice. Well, going on to speaking about the quest specifically now, how does it feel to be the quest designer on such a heavily quest-driven game? Like, obviously a lot of work.
Well, a lot of work and a lot of pressure, obviously, because we obviously are aware that this is one of the most important, if not the most important element of the game. And throughout the production, there was a lot of pressure on us to reach a certain quality level. Obviously, at earlier stages of production, the game doesn't look exactly beautiful, so everyone has their doubts, everyone stresses about it. And also, another thing that is really stressful regarding this job is that we are the people which start the process in many cases. Like, we request cutscenes, we request character models, locations, and so on. Anything we change at some point of production, it impacts the other departments as well.
Well, it's effectively wasted time because they've made this, we're going to cut that out of the thing, or I don't like that model, it's gone, Yeah,
exactly. Or sorry, this character is no longer in the game, and the character artist wants to murder you in the corridor suddenly, So this is very stressful, and but also we are very proud of our work because of this, because we feel that we have a big impact on the game. In all of its aspects.
Well, how does it feel seeing that the DLC's come out? It's been very well received. Is it interesting to see the characters that you've spent so long building up taking down these different paths?
Well, definitely. Geralt, for one, is a character that has opportunity to appear in situations in which he wouldn't participate in normal circumstances. So it was nice to see how his character developed. We have also added some new characters and characters from the previous games. This Shani person, she was in Witcher 1. And it was nice to work on this character again because we could think about how we want to portray her this time. And also at the same time, it was a character that a lot of people liked. And a lot of people in the company liked her as well. So we were excited to work, on quests with these characters.
Fair enough. Well, I guess one last one. What was probably your favorite quest in the game? Or if not, what was your favorite quest that you couldn't put in the game?
Well, definitely I really liked the Baron storyline. It was one of that touched me the most emotionally. I liked the quests in Kermoren when the Witchers get reunited and they have their little party. That was probably one of my favorite moments in the entire game. The thing that we cut, and I really wanted to see it in, I mentioned it a few times before, it was a quest line on Skellige. Basically, Geralt was going undercover to the Wild Hunt ranks.
Right,
And you were able to see better how the Wild Hunt works. You could interact more with the main antagonist and so on. And unfortunately, we cut that. So, and it can be felt in the game that, for example, our antagonist doesn't have as much screen time as he could have.
Yeah.
I guess those are the things I would point out.
That's right. Well, if there was one last one, if there's one thing you could put in, like one crazy thing you could do, what would you do? To Geralt, to whoever.
Oh, wow, that's difficult. I think that if we could put it in, I would definitely, it's not that crazy, but I would definitely expand the Wild Hunt exposure in the storyline. The antagonists, I would expand on this, what their motivations were, to show it better to the players.
Fair enough. Mateusz, again, I apologize in advance. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
For years, our world has been at peace. But something is coming. I can feel it. Dark forces are upon us.
Find these beasts, or whatever they are.
Our world is dying. There is nothing to go back to. If our people are to survive, we must make a home here. Whatever happens.
Whatever happens. If we do not unite, our world will perish.
This doesn't need to happen. There is one who may help us.
For orcs, there is no other life but war. No, but with the humans' help, there could be.
Why are you here?
To save our people.
Can we trust him?
They're beasts. They should all be destroyed.
Are you sure about that? We'll protect the kingdom. You and I.
You'd side with the humans against your own kind.
This is suicide.
We have no choice. We should attack with full force.
Whatever you plan to do, do it now!
So Tim, you're not completely buzzing after that trailer.
No.
You look like a man who's had his heart broken.
Not exactly. I still think it's going to be a good movie, but coming into it, I was just so excited. I was the director of Moon. All the people working on the project were people who played World of Warcraft or Warcraft 3, some of the older RTSs.
But then they'd be too in love with the whole thing. Like they wouldn't make the cuts required for a palatable Hollywood blockbuster.
Yeah, so I don't know how it's going to go. Like the story itself is the origin story of orcs and humans, and it's just going to be interesting because a lot of the people who are very familiar with Warcraft lore or whatever, they've started at Warcraft 3 or World of Warcraft, and this is an era where you're not going to recognize many names.
Where's Arthas?
Probably hasn't been born yet.
Where's the innkeeper from Hearthstone?
Definitely not there yet. So we'll see how it goes. At the moment, it seems very generic.
Yeah, it seems to sort of fill in the slot now left empty by Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. It is leaning hard into that sort of epic fantasy, but at least it looks fun and colourful. It's got colours for one.
I'll still see it and I'll still very much enjoy it. I just don't think it'll be the mind-blowing experience
and
that I
will
thought it would
still
be.
be disappointed by the fact that the CG is worse than the cinematics that Blizzard produces.
Now, Don, we do this every year. Sometimes I wonder why, because it's been so long since Black Ops 2, which to me was the last worthwhile Call of Duty game.
Yeah, you mean Advanced Warfare?
Oh, God. I'm glad I showed up for this. But we do have Black Ops 3.
Yes,
now,
the latest one from Treyarch, who are arguably the prime developers of the Call of Duty video games.
Since the unfortunate split around Modern Warfare 1, Treyarch kind of sucked with World at War, and then Black Ops 1 was great, and Black Ops 2 was greater.
Let me ask you, what did you like about Black Ops 2?
I loved the fact that if you didn't get the I Love You Daddy ending, it was the most visceral scene in video games in a long time. The levels were well paced, and Raul Menendez was the best villain we've had in a long time.
Yeah, about that, Black Ops 3 campaign offers pretty much none of that.
Great.
It's just another generic conspiracy corridor running story.
Yeah, great, cool.
Yeah, it's like any sort of ingenuity, even right down to the branching endings that you get in Modern Warfare 2. No, number 3 is almost a throwback to its old World War II shooters.
Yeah, great. So because when it's all said and done, I think the big thing that worked for Black Ops 2, or even both of them, was that it built itself, it started off with its crazy, what do the numbers mean, Mason, blah, 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 blah. It built into that kind of mystique around the 1960s, conspiracy theories and stuff like that.
And this tries to replicate that just with future and AI, as if someone had been watching either Deus Ex or Inception in the development of this game. And it becomes a bit too overindulgent, especially the final mission where they try to cram so much into it. And it even tries to sort of be self-congratulatory of the Black Ops franchise that it just ends up leaving a bad taste in what was an otherwise ordinary, if not memorable, a competent, if not memorable campaign.
Did Avenged Sevenfold come back?
No.
Okay, at least that's sorted. But
no, they got the Guitar Hero money, don't you worry.
Yeah, great.
And in terms of the actual gunplay, the other reason why you play Call of Duty, there are certain improvements in the single player. You've got these cyber cores, but which essentially give you
force
powers.
Basically,
yeah. But there are two of them. One that sends out AI the nano drones, which sets your enemies on fire, and one that makes robots explode. Once you get those two, then you've pretty much got the game solved. As it's Hardened was a breeze for
so
me.
it's Bioshock Infinite again.
Yeah,
basically,
kinda.
get the RAM, get the regenerating health.
It's actually a really good analogy.
Great.
But thankfully, the multiplayer has actually improved over last year's Call of Duty, just because the maps are much better designed. It's like you're more likely to run it into action, and the fact is they've reduced the reliance on kill streaks so that just good gunplay will get you the wins. Having said that, the fact that melees aren't automatic kills is kind of hot garbage.
Well, because that was always the thing. That was always the one thing you had was if you got a melee attack in, you were going to kill. Look, I guess the question is, I don't play the multiplayer much in the COD games, except for the Black Ops series. Is it still worth me looking at, considering I'm going into it looking for the campaign?
You might want to stick to Black Ops 2 if you're a single player, but if you have friends or if you like the multiplayer, then Black Ops 3, well, you're going to get it anyway because it's the latest one in the season, eh?
Don't have friends.
Yet another yearly release of Call of Duty.
It's the favorite sport. Let's call it what it is. A sporting franchise, basically. Although, interestingly, they are trying to turn Black Ops 3 into esports with a mode which does have, it goes right down to having protects and bans.
Yeah, it's good to see that they're really getting behind the competitive scene,
and
because
they've tried to for so long now, with $1 million tournaments for the past couple of years, and yet for some reason it hasn't quite got off the ground. Even this, we're talking about one of the biggest, most popular games every year. I'm guessing everyone still just likes playing TDM.
There's still good a good competitive scene for Call of Duty. Even though there's no big Xbox $1 million events at the moment, there's still big pro circuit events for MLG, as well as international tournaments sponsored by Twitch. And some pretty good prize money as well.
It's a curio though that apart from Counter-Strike, there aren't that many major first-person shooters with tournament scenes. You got what's Call of Duty. Hell, you even have Team Fortress 2, but they are small beans compared to the major ones. Hell, you have fighting games that are a lot more prevalent, and it's weird considering that it is probably the most standard gaming genre out there.
Yeah, it is, and it's very approachable when you have someone that doesn't necessarily play the game. You need to have, for someone watching LCS, League of Legends, they probably need to understand the game a bit more than, hey, this guy's shooting at this guy,
Though it's strangely difficult to telecast, as everyone has found over the past many a year. I'm sure someone will find their solution, but I'm not quite sure if Protects and Bans and Blobs 3 is the solution.
We'll see. Usually it's just, all right, you don't use these perks or these perks aren't very viable in these situations. But that's it.
Time will tell, I suppose, yeah.
That's it for this week. Next week, get excited for Legacy of the Void. I'll be done with
Persona
it.
4 Dancing All Night?
Yes. Yes, I do. But let's visit our website, www.newgameplus.tv.
Let's go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/newgameplusTV.
Follow our Twitter and Instagram at newgameplusTV.
You know what? I'll go to our YouTube page. Look us up on New Game Plus TV for videos and live streams.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tim.
We'll see you guys next week.